If you build a spaceship that can fly 1 billion times faster than light, and you fly straight toward the edge of the universe, what exactly do you hit? Most people think it's one of two things. They picture a massive dark brick wall, like the edge of a video game map. Or they picture stepping over a line into an endless black void. Wrong. Not just a little wrong, fundamentally, embarrassingly wrong. Here is the terrifying truth. The edge of the universe is not a place in space. It is an invisible mathematical wall made entirely of time, a boundary where space itself simply runs out of past. You have actually felt this exact physics. Every time you watch a firework explode in the night sky and wait that agonizing second for the boom to hit your chest. I am going to show you why stepping over the edge of the universe wouldn't drop you into nothingness. It would drop you into a terrifying blind spot where the very concept of when ceases to exist. Let me show you. Close your eyes for a second. Imagine walking to the end of a dark hallway. You hit a wall. You press your hand against it. It's solid. It pushes back. This is exactly how our monkey brains are wired. For 2 million years, whenever our ancestors ran out of space, they hit something physical, a mountain, a canyon, a freezing ocean. So when I ask you to imagine the edge of the universe, your brain immediately panics. It scrambles to build a wall, or it pictures an infinite, empty black void that our universe is just floating inside. Wrong. Here's the part nobody tells you. There is no wall. There is no giant cosmic dome holding the galaxies inside like a snow globe. But there is a boundary, a terrifying, absolute hard stop to our reality. People say, the universe is infinite, but that's just a label. It's a lazy cop-out to avoid dealing with the monster at the edge of town. Stop. Think about this. What happens if you have a strict boundary but no physical wall? Your intuition screams that there must be an outside, a bigger, empty room containing us. Wrong again. There is no outside. This is where your intuition completely fails. To understand this invisible edge, you have to break a habit you've had since you were a toddler playing with blocks. You have to stop thinking of space as an empty, hollow box. Space is a fabric. A stretchy, living, wobbling, twisting thing. And at the very edge of our observable universe, that fabric is doing something horrific. Try this right now. Hold your hand up near your face. Look at it. You think you're seeing your hand right now, right? Exactly as it is in this exact millisecond? No. You are looking at a ghost. You are looking into the past. Now watch what this implies. If seeing your own hand is actually time travel, what happens when we scale this up to the entire cosmos? To find the edge of the universe, we don't need a spaceship. We need a tape measure, but not a normal one. We need a tape measure made entirely of light. Let me show you how it works. Let me say that again. You have never, not once in your entire life, seen the present moment. Light has a speed limit. It's fast, roughly 300,000 kilometers per second, but it is not instant. When you look at your hand, the light takes about 1/1000th of a second to bounce off your skin and hit your retina. You are seeing your hand as it was 1/1000th of a second in the past. Look outside at the sun. Wait, don't actually stare at the sun, but imagine it. You are seeing the sun as it was 8 minutes ago. If the sun suddenly vanished, exploded, or turned purple, you wouldn't know. For 8 terrifying minutes, the sky would look perfectly normal. You'd be happily walking around, bathed in ghost light. That sounds impossible, until you see the trick. People say light years measure distance, but that's just a label. A light year is a time machine. It's the distance light travels in 1 Earth year. Look up at the night sky. See the Andromeda Galaxy? It's the closest major galaxy to us. It is 2.5 million light years away. That means the light hitting your eyeball right now left that galaxy 2.5 million years ago, before humans even existed, before we ever walked the Earth. That light has been flying through the freezing black vacuum of space, dodging black holes, just to crash into your pupil tonight. Beautiful. But here is where it gets weird. Most textbooks skip this next part. If looking further away means looking further back in time, what happens if we just keep looking? What if we build a telescope big enough to look 10 billion light years away? We see the universe as a toddler. What if we look 13.8 billion light years away? Stop. 13.8 billion years is the exact age of the universe. That's when the Big Bang happened. So if we look out to a distance of 13.8 billion light years, what do we see? We see the birth of everything, the blinding flash of creation. But what if we try to look at 14 billion light years? We can't. Not because there is a physical brick wall blocking the view, because there wasn't any time yet. The universe isn't old enough for that light to reach us. This is the tape measure illusion. But wait, it gets much worse. Because space isn't just sitting there, it's moving. So you think the edge is 13.8 billion light years away, because that's how old the universe is, right? Wrong. That would only be true if the universe was sitting perfectly still, like a dead frozen pond. But it's not. The universe is alive. It is stretching, pulling apart in every single direction at once. People say the Big Bang was a giant explosion, but that's just a label. It wasn't a bomb going off inside an empty, dark room. There was no room. The room itself exploded. Space itself is what's expanding. Think I'm exaggerating? Look at the math. Every second of every day, the empty black void between galaxies is literally generating more empty black void. Imagine you are on a treadmill. You are running as fast as you can, but the treadmill belt isn't just moving backward, the rubber itself is stretching out beneath your feet. If the belt stretches faster than your legs can pump, you never reach the control panel. You actually get dragged backward. This is what happens to light. Light from distant galaxies is running on a cosmic treadmill, trying to reach your eyes. But the fabric of space is stretching underneath it. Hold on to that thought. It gets weirder. Albert Einstein famously said, "Nothing can travel faster than the speed of light." And he was right. Nothing can move through space faster than light. But here is the loophole, the terrifying cheat code of the cosmos. Space itself doesn't care about Einstein's speed limit. The fabric of the universe can stretch as fast as it wants, and it does. If you look at a galaxy far enough away, the space between us and that galaxy is stretching so violently, so incredibly fast, that the galaxy is actually moving away from us faster than the speed of light. Let me say that again. Entire galaxies are retreating from us faster than a light beam can travel. So what happens to the light they shine at us? It's like the runner on a treadmill going too fast. The light gets dragged backward. It will never, ever reach us. This means the actual edge of what we can see isn't 13.8 billion light years away at all. So where is it? Where is the exact boundary? Let's find the coordinates. So the universe is 13.8 billion years old. The light from the edge started traveling to us exactly that long ago. But while that light has been flying toward your eyeball for 13.8 billion years, the cosmic treadmill has been stretching out behind it. Here is where the universe breaks its own rules. If we do the math, taking into account how fast space itself has stretched since the Big Bang, we get a terrifying new number. The patch of space that emitted that 13.8 billion-year-old light, it's no longer 13.8 billion light years away. The treadmill has dragged it backward. It is now 46.5 billion light years away. Stop. Look at that number. 46.5 billion. In every single direction. This creates a massive sphere around Earth, roughly 93 billion light years across. This is it. This is your cage. People say the universe, but that's just a label. We only ever see the observable universe. This sphere is our absolute limit. We are a tiny speck, sitting right in the exact dead center of a 93 billion light-year bubble of visibility. Everything inside this bubble is what we call reality. The stars, the dust, the black holes, the planets. But what about the edge of the bubble? What is physically there, right at the 46.5 billionth light-year mark? Is it a brick wall? A force field? A giant black curtain? No. Are you getting chills yet? You should be. Because the boundary isn't made of bricks, or energy, or void. The boundary is made entirely of something your brain can barely process. Let me ask you a question. What happens if you look past 46.5 billion light years? You don't hit an empty void. You hit the Big Bang. You hit the exact moment of creation. There is no more light to see because before that distance, there were no stars. There were no atoms. There was literally no past. So the wall you hit isn't spatial. The edge of the observable universe isn't a place where space ends. It is a place where time ends. You have literally reached the end of history. You have looked back so far that you ran completely out of past tense. But what happens if you try to fly there? What happens if you physically try to step past the wall? So here we are, staring at the invisible 46.5 billion light-year boundary, the cosmic horizon. Imagine standing on a perfectly flat beach. You look out over the ocean. You see a horizon line where the water meets the sky. Does the ocean actually stop there? Is there a giant waterfall dropping into nothing? No. This is where your intuition completely fails. The horizon is not a physical place. It is a limitation of your eyesight. It's an optical illusion caused by the curve of the Earth. The edge of the observable universe is the exact same thing. It is a horizon. But instead of being created by the curve of rock, it is created by the speed of light and the expansion of space. It is a time horizon. People say, let's travel to the edge. But that's just a label. You cannot travel to the edge of the universe any more than you can sail a boat to the horizon on the ocean. If you get in a boat and sail toward the horizon, what happens? The horizon moves. It stays exactly the same distance away from you because it's just the limit of what you can see from where you are standing. Here's the part nobody tells you. If you instantly teleported yourself 46 billion light years away, right to the edge of our observable bubble, you wouldn't see a giant brick wall. You wouldn't see an empty black void. You would see more stars, more galaxies, more black space. It would look exactly like our night sky. And if you looked back toward Earth, Earth would be at the exact edge of your new observable universe. We are not trapped in a physical bubble. We are trapped in a bubble of causality, a bubble of information. Now watch what this implies. There are galaxies sitting 47 billion light years away right now, just past our horizon. They exist. They are real. They probably have planets. But we will never, ever see them. Because the space between us and them is expanding so incredibly fast, their light is stuck on the cosmic treadmill forever. They are moving away from us faster than light. They have vanished from our reality permanently. So what happens if you stick your arm past that boundary? What happens if you try to step into the void that we can't see? So what happens if you stick your arm past the edge, past the 46.5 billion light year mark? Let's say you magically survived the teleportation. You are floating right at the cosmic horizon, the edge of everything humanity has ever been able to see. You reach your hand forward. Your fingertips cross the boundary line. What do you feel? Do you touch a brick wall? Does your hand get instantly frozen in an empty void? No, this isn't science fiction. This is happening right now. You don't feel anything. Your hand just enters normal space. It might be near a random star or deep inside a massive galaxy cluster. But here is the terrifying part. Here is the true horror of the edge. The moment your hand crosses that invisible line, it leaves our reality completely. Because the space between your hand and Earth is stretching faster than light. If you wiggle your fingers, the light bouncing off your fingers will never ever reach Earth. If you shine a flashlight back at us, the beam is instantly swept backward on the cosmic treadmill. Your hand has entered a region of space that is causally disconnected from us. Permanently. Forever. Are you getting chills yet? You should be. It is a true void, not because it's empty, but because it is completely dead to us. Any alien living just 1 inch past our cosmic horizon could build a laser beam the size of a solar system and fire it directly at Earth. We would never see it. We would never feel the heat. We would never know they existed, because their light is swimming upstream against an endless accelerating river of stretching space. People say the unobservable universe, but that's just a label. It is a graveyard of information, a place where the laws of physics still work perfectly, but where the past, present, and future can never interact with ours again. You are effectively wiped from our existence. You have become a ghost. And here is the worst part. But wait, it gets much worse. Because this terrifying boundary line isn't just sitting there. It isn't a permanent, fixed cage. The edge of our reality isn't stable. It's actually a weapon, and it is closing in on us. So the edge of our observable bubble is an invisible wall of time, a terrifying boundary of fast-stretching space. But I didn't tell you the scariest part. The cosmic treadmill isn't just running at a steady pace. It's accelerating. Every single second, the empty vacuum between galaxies is stretching faster than the second before. This isn't supposed to happen. Gravity is supposed to pull everything back together. It's supposed to slow down the expansion of the universe. But it's not. Something invisible is pushing the universe apart, pushing the galaxies away from each other faster and faster. We call it dark energy. Here's the part nobody tells you. Because of dark energy, the cosmic treadmill is speeding up exponentially. And because the treadmill is speeding up, that terrifying boundary line, the edge of our observable universe, is actually moving inward. It is closing in on us like a pair of giant scissors. Think I'm exaggerating? Look at the math. Right now, as you watch this video, there are entire galaxies sitting near the edge of our bubble. They are far away, but their light is still reaching us. We can point telescopes at them. We can see them. But as the expansion of space accelerates, those galaxies are getting pushed faster and faster. Eventually, the space between us and them will be stretching faster than the speed of light. And when that happens, the scissors snap shut. Those galaxies cross the invisible boundary. They slip past the 46.5 billion light-year mark, and their light stops reaching us forever. They don't explode. They don't vanish into a black hole. They simply fade out of existence from our perspective. Now watch what this implies. This is happening right now, in real time. Roughly 10,000 stars cross our cosmic horizon every single second. Every second, 10,000 suns disappear into the unobservable void. They are causally disconnected from Earth permanently. If they exploded, we would never know. If aliens built a Dyson sphere around them, we would never see it. They are gone, swallowed by the expanding vacuum. But if space is expanding, if the bubble is getting bigger, what is it expanding into? So the scissors are closing in. The galaxies are fading out. But I haven't answered the most obvious, terrifying question. If space is stretching, and if our observable universe is expanding, what is it expanding into? What is the empty box holding our universe? Is there a giant, dark, infinite room containing all the galaxies, and we are just slowly filling it up? No. This is where your intuition completely fails. People say the universe is like an expanding balloon. But that's just a label. It's a terrible analogy that breaks your brain. Because when you imagine a balloon blowing up, you imagine a balloon inside a room. You imagine air pushing outward into an empty space. Stop. Think about this. You have to delete the room. There is no room. There is no outside. Here is where the universe breaks its own rules. The universe isn't expanding into anything, it is just expanding. The distance between the galaxies is increasing, but they are not moving into an empty void that was already there. Space itself is being created between them. Imagine you have a number line. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, stretch the number line. You don't put the numbers into a bigger piece of paper. You just create space between the numbers. You suddenly have 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5. You have infinitely more space, but you didn't expand into anything. You just changed the definition of distance. That sounds impossible, until you see the trick. Because space is a fabric, it can stretch internally without needing an external container. The edge of the universe doesn't have an outside because outside is a spatial concept, and space only exists inside the universe. Asking what is outside the universe is like asking what is north of the North Pole. The question itself is broken. It is a monkey brain question, trying to understand a mathematical reality. There is no physical wall. There is no empty void holding us. There is only the fabric of space, stretching and tearing itself apart, faster and faster. And this leads to the most mind-bending realization of all. So there is no outside. There is no empty box holding us. But what about the edge? The 46.5 billion light-year boundary line? Where is it? Where is the physical wall? Here's the part nobody tells you. You think Earth is sitting in the center of the universe, surrounded by this massive 93 billion light-year bubble. And you think if you travel to the edge, you will hit the edge of the universe. Wrong. This is where your intuition completely fails. The observable universe is not the universe. It is just our universe. Because the speed of light is the same everywhere, the boundary line is relative to the observer. Imagine you are standing on a giant infinite ocean. You look around. You see the horizon in every direction. You feel like you are standing in the exact dead center of the ocean. Now, jump in a boat. Sail 10 miles away. Stop. Look around again. You still see the horizon. You still feel like you are in the exact center of the ocean. The horizon moved with you. The edge of the universe works exactly the same way. If you instantly teleport to a galaxy 40 billion light years away, you don't hit a wall. You don't hit the edge. You become the new center. Now watch what this implies. From that distant galaxy, you look around. You see a brand new observable universe, 93 billion light years across. And if you look back at Earth, Earth is now at the terrifying invisible edge of your reality. To the alien living in that distant galaxy, we are the ones fading out of existence. We are the ones sitting on the cosmic horizon, slowly being pushed into the unobservable void. To them, we are the terrifying edge. Are you getting chills yet? You should be, because this means every single point in the universe is the exact center. Every single point is completely surrounded by a fast-stretching boundary of time. And every single observer is trapped in their own personal cage of light. So here we are, trapped inside a 93 billion light-year sphere of ancient, beautiful ghosts. Every second you sit there, the cosmic treadmill speeds up. Every second, another distant star crosses that invisible, terrifying boundary line. Snip, gone. Wiped from our reality forever. Here's the part nobody tells you. If you fast forward a few trillion years, the expansion of space will become so violently fast that the edge of our observable universe will shrink inward, drastically. Eventually, every single galaxy outside our local cosmic neighborhood will be pushed past the speed of light. The night sky will go completely, utterly black. Future civilizations living on future planets won't see billions of galaxies. They won't know about the Big Bang. They won't have the light to prove the universe is expanding. They will look up and see nothing but an empty, cold, terrifying void. They will think they are entirely alone in a dark, dead cosmos, and they won't even know what they are missing. This is where your intuition completely fails. We are incredibly lucky. We live in the exact golden era of the cosmos, a tiny window where the sky is still full of ancient light, where the evidence of creation is still painted across the stars, right before the universe violently pulls the curtains closed. The edge of the universe isn't a giant brick wall, and it isn't an endless empty box waiting to be filled. It's an hourglass, and the sand is rapidly running out. It's not just an invisible wall of time. It's a stark reminder that our view of reality is strictly temporary, a beautiful, fleeting illusion built by light that barely made it here in time. If this broke your monkey brain even a little bit, hit the subscribe button and like this video. I have a lot more terrifying physics to show you. Next time you step outside and look up at the night sky, don't just look at the glowing stars. Look at the black, empty spaces between them. And remember what's hiding just out of sight. Space isn't running out of room. It's running out of time.